What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. We have a great Tuesday slate today. We have a great Tuesday set on the show today. We have myself back in action, excited to be here. I missed all you guys. JD is with us, as always, from Line Movers, and we have our guy Joe from Lay Off the Juice. JD, how are you, brother? It's good to be back on the air, chopping it up with you.
Man, I am doing great. And yes, it's glad to have you. I'm very glad to have you back. Hosting the show is fun, but that is not my I guess best thing. So yes, I'm definitely glad to have you back here. But yeah, man, like everything's going well.
I appreciate that. Joe, how are you, brother? Always a blast to get on here and chop it up with you.
Dude, I am feeling great. I'm 6-2 in my last 2 days, so feeling real good, man.
I absolutely love to hear that. Well, I guess we're gonna have to give the guys more winners. Aren't we gonna have to do that today? So let's go over to the comments. We have our guy Joseph, who's here as always. What's up, brother? Wishing everyone a glorious day, except for the Cubs. They cost us our parlay yesterday, so I am with you. J-Bo, I appreciate the kind words, man. It's good to be back with you and everyone out there. And just let's fucking go. Appreciate it, brother. Benjamin is here. What's up, Benjamin? We appreciate you, bro. Well, fellas, I think that's a good time to transition right into our weekend. Well, not a weekend recap. My days are all messed up right now. But we're going to do our Tuesday recap here. JD, I'm going to start with you. How did you do yesterday?
Did well, man. As far as last night, the slate, there wasn't a whole lot going on. We had a little bit of baseball, and then the highlight of the night was a WNBA game. So that kind of tells you how the Monday slate was. Yep. But everything was good, man. I had a big play on that Dodgers and the Diamondbacks over. That was a nice easy win for us. So man, yeah, it was good.
Love to hear that. Joe, how'd you do yesterday?
Dude, did really good, man. I went 3-1 yesterday. Plus money banger given out in the WNBA as the best bet / play of the day. Had me a little nervous, got sweaty. She got 2 in like the last 2 minutes of the game. So, but yeah, I like Paige, like the Dallas Wings as well. So they're pretty good, man.
I love that. We're going to have to go to you for more WNBA, Joe, because I'm going to need those plays here because I don't cap the W yet. But I've heard you've been killing it. So we're going to have to get some more winners in the W as well.
My boy Nat for the Dodgers, he gave up 5 hits in 1 inning. So, yeah, I'm cool. That was a sweat-freest play ever. So,
we love that. We love that. And for me yesterday, we went about 500. My 2 free plays lost. We cashed a bunch of the VIP plays, but we lost our parlay because of the Cubs and the Mets. Just what's going on with the Mets? More to come on them, but interesting development with the Mets, guys. Before we even get into it, the daily slate. How about the Mets right now? How about Juan Soto? $765 million. Not hustling out balls, not really looking comfortable in New York. His batting average is hovering in the 240s. This is a guy who's a lot better than what he's performed with the Mets so far. JD, do you think the pressure's getting to him? There's all these reports coming out that he really did want to stay with the Yankees, but his family pushed him to take the Mets contract. What do you think about all this? And at least he has a lot of time to rectify it since it's a, 15-year contract?
Right. My main thing about all of this is no matter what you're feeling, whatever you were wanting to do, you're with this team now. And my main thing is because I'm just a huge baseball guy. You just have to hustle out plays, man. Like
nothing gets me angrier.
Nothing pisses me off more than actually that shit. I don't care what's going on in the clubhouse. If you have something going on, that doesn't matter. When you're on the field, you have to play and you have to hustle. So yeah, but that to me, like I said, that just my actual opinion on players just starts to drop whenever I see stuff like that. So,
me too, man. Me too. There's nothing hard about hustling out a ground ball. Just run. You're making $765 million on your contract. Run to first base. Also in the outfield, why don't you try for some of those pop flies that I think you could have caught if you put a little extra effort in there? Joe, what are your thoughts about everything?
Give me $2 million, I'll do his job. I'll at least try. I'll look like I'm doing it, right?
But at least you'll hustle probably more. You'll give more effort.
Bro, I'm not gonna make it, but shit, I'll try. 700 something million, I guarantee you, effort will not be something that you say something about me.
100%.
I do a lot more for a lot less. I'm just saying.
Sometimes I think the players forget the perception of who they are, what they're making. It's like, to the fan base especially, you're not running out of ground ball when you're being paid the second highest contract that we've ever seen, the highest contract ever. Him and Ohtani, I know the years, the total money's bigger, but Ohtani's getting a little more per year. But to the fans, we all know all you have to do is hustle a little bit, show a little effort, and you'll win over the fan base, especially with a new team. So to me, I found that one of the interesting stories of the weekend. And my favorite part about the whole thing, and guys, I'm a Yankees fan, so obviously still a little salty he left. But my favorite part was yesterday after the game when he went out there and said, "I have been hustling." Are you sure? Are you sure? Because the video is showing that you have not. But, gentlemen, that was a great way to do our weekend recap. You guys ready to dive into a little MLB? Give the people some winners today.
Let's do it.
Let's get it, boys. We're jumping right into a little MLB action. The first game we're breaking down today is going to be the Reds taking on the Pirates. Pitching for the Reds, Nick Martinez. Martinez is coming in 2-4 in the year with a 3.6 ERA. In 51 innings of work, he's allowed 49 hits, 11 walks, and 4 homers. On the other side, we have Bailey Falter. Falter's 2-3, 4.0 ERA, in 47 innings of work. He has allowed 39 hits, 18 walks, and 6 homers. Falter's issue, he does give up a lot of walks. Like I said, he does have 18 on the year. Will he be able to control it today at home and help the Pirates get the win? JD, we're going to start with you. What do you like in this game?
I think this is a very interesting game because a lot of people are actually saying, like, this is actually like a trap line. The Reds, they've won, I think, 5 in a row now. And actually, then as far as actually Pittsburgh, they have just not been playing well. So this seems like a very easy, actually like Reds bet. So that's why I've been hearing and seeing like a bunch of trap. But when I really look at this, the odds makers are saying that actually Falter is actually going to have a good start here. And I actually mean, like, his past 2 starts, well, really 3 starts, have actually been really good. Walks, that is something that he does do, and he needs to cut those down.
Yep.
But the thing for me is, it doesn't matter how actually well you like pitch if your team cannot score runs.
Yep.
And that's why I'm still on the Reds here. Definitely give me the Reds. Also, just another real random fact, as far as this season, the Reds have actually owned them. They have played 4 times, and actually, like, the Reds have actually won all of those easily, and actually they have covered the run line in actually all those games.
You beat me to it.
So, I do have to say, as far as my number here, I'm actually going like against it, because the model likes the Pirates here. So that's why, to me, like, it's actually not a trap line. Like, if you just go by, stats wise and, the line, actually, I'm actually showing like the value on the other side. But here I just have to go actually like against him here. So, yes.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think the model is picking the Pirates here? Because I'm looking at this as well, and I just don't see how you can take the Pirates in this spot. They're 9-14 at home. They have not been a good home team. Their record is terrible. They're 15-33 on the year. And when you just take a look at the standings already, could you believe that the Pittsburgh Pirates were only, 45, 50 games into the year? They're 13 and a half games back of the Cubs in the NL Central. So they're already way behind. What do you think the model could be pointing to that would make it think that the Pirates are going to win this game?
It is definitely saying actually, like, Falter is actually going to have a good start. Like, that's the only thing it could be saying here. So.
And the Reds bats are hot. They're winners of 5 consecutive games. I'm with you, JD. And the crazy thing about their 5-game win streak as well, only one of those games have been close. Let's go over the last 5. Last game against the Pirates, they won 7-1. Game before that, they played the Guardians. They won 3-1. Game before that, 4-1. The only close game was 4 games ago, which was a 5-4 win. And then the game before that over the White Sox was 7-1. So this team has really been playing some good baseball. The Pirates, on the other hand, they lost a 7-1 game. They lost a 1-0 game. They lost a 5-2 game. They lost an 8-4 game. They're not really competitive right now either. So to me, I don't see any way you could take the Pirates in this spot. It has to be a Reds play to me to extend the win streak and keep it rolling. Joe, what do you think is going to play out in this game?
I really like the Reds, not to just echo everything JD just said, but the play that I'm on today is the under 1 run in the first inning. I'm on a nerfy for today.
Okay.
I'm looking at Falter to have a really good start at home.
Yeah.
He's 4-0 at home to giving up runs in the first inning. And then when you look on the other side, Martinez on the road, he's 3-1. So he's 75% to the under in the first inning as well. The Pirates just do not swing the bat for whatever, like they're not putting up runs. So couple all that stuff together, I got no run in the first inning for a -130. I feel like that's a lot of juice, but hey, I'll swallow it because I think it's worth the squeeze today.
But wait, Joe, I thought we were all about lay off the juice around here. I had to just play a little bit, but I think that is going to cash as well. We all know what the Pirates' offense is this year. To me, the big question is going to be how the Reds do in the first inning. And I think, like you said, Falter's been very good in the first inning. He should be able to come out and do a decent job. The one thing that scares me about Falter in this game, if you were to pack anything on the Pirates side, is he really doesn't give you a lot of longevity in his starts. Looking at his last game, he went 3.2 innings. The couple games before that, he actually did pretty decently. He went 6 and 7. But before that game, he went 4. Before that, he went 4. So in 3 of his last 5 starts, he hasn't been really able to make it out of more than 4 innings. So we'll see how he does tonight with this Reds offense that really has been crushing it. So we will see how this plays out, and we'll be able to recap that tomorrow. All right, boys, we're going to...
Alpha there, yeah, just one more point.
Sure.
As far as the bullpens go, the Pirates' bullpen this year has been bad, especially the past few games. And then the Reds has actually been pretty good. So, yeah, they actually definitely have a late inning edge there.
Absolutely. Their bullpen's been surprisingly good. So more to come. If they keep that up, they're going to be a team you're probably going to get some good value on, especially for the next couple weeks. They've been hot. They haven't been a great team all year, but they're playing like a great team right now. JD, as we've said for a year on this show in baseball, it's all about who's hot and you play the hot team. That's exactly what we're going to be doing here. All right, boys, second game we're going to be breaking down is going to be the team we don't really want to talk about, but we have to, the Chicago Cubs that had an awful performance yesterday against the Miami Marlins. They did lose 8-7, and they did blow the game in the 9th inning. I think a lot of people were on the Cubs in parlays yesterday. There wasn't a lot of great betting spots in the MLB yesterday, and I saw a ton of people on the Cubs, so I know I'm not alone when I was very disappointed in that performance. Let's go over the pitching matchup in this game. Pitching for the Cubs is Jameson Taillon. Taillon's 2-3 on the year with a 4.5 ERA. In 49 innings of work, he's allowed 46 hits, 9 walks, and 13 homers. On the other side, we have Ryan Weathers. Weathers, this is going to be, I believe, his second start of the year. He is 1-0 on the year, but he has only pitched 5 innings so far. In those 5 innings, he's only allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, and 1 homer. He does have a 1.8 ERA and a 0.6 whip. JD, we're going to start with you again. The odds make this playable for the Cubs. They are in playable range without needing to parlay them. They're currently at a -145. What do you like in this game? Are you backing the Cubs to have a bounce-back spot, or do you think the Marlins are going to rip the first 2 games of the series?
Well, to start off here, as far as Weathers goes, his actually first start was really good. And the main thing that I took away from that start was his fastball. His fastball numbers were definitely up. He was throwing them around. Around actually 97, which is definitely up for him. So that was definitely something that I noticed there. But guys, the big thing for me here, as far as the pitchers goes, both of these pitchers just faced these teams last week. This actually was their last start. They faced off, and when actually that happens, I like to play the games over, because when actually you have a team seeing the same guy, like actually basically in the same week, they're normally going to do well.
Yeah.
So then you couple that with, the Marlins as far as at home. When you go back, it's not just this year. When you go back through a good bit of last year, like maybe halfway last year, the Marlins home games have been trending over. Way over. They are the best home over team. I forgot exactly what point of last year that goes back to, but it was about like halfway through the season though. But then you look at this year, these are also 2 of the best over teams just in general here. The Cubs are 28-17 to the over. The Marlins are 28. They are actually 28-18 to the over. To me, I actually bet this at 8.5. I actually grabbed a -105. It looks like you can still grab a -110. which is totally fine. So I'm going to play the over here.
JD, you stole the words right out of my mouth, and you made the exact points I wanted to make on this game. I absolutely love the over 8.5, and you put it perfectly. If you look at how these two teams have done to the over this season, they're number 1 and number 2 in Major League Baseball at games going to the over. The Cubs are 28-16, like JD said, covering at 64%. Miami is 28-18, covering at 61%. By far the top 2 teams at the over. Then you take a look at this pitching matchup. Jamison Tyon's done a decent job. He's 2-3 on the year, but he has a near 5 ERA. What does that tell you? It tells you that the Cubs offense does show up when he is on the bump for this team. On the other side, Ryan Weathers, there's not a lot of data on him this year. We all know he's only had 1 start. He's 1-0, low ERA, low whip, yada, yada, yada. But this is a guy over his career who has been hit a little bit. I do think we will see a good amount of runs in this game, and I think this one's going to cash rather early. So, JD, I'm with you 1,000%. Give me the over 8.5. Definitely my favorite play on this game. Joe, what you got?
I'm going to go with the Marlins plus 0.5 on the first 5. I know the guy only had 1 start against the Cubs, but the way that I see it, when I'm looking at James Tallon, he's been touched a little bit more than I would like as far as like backing a pitcher. I love the total on this side, on this game, but I think I like the first 5. Give me a point to keep it close. The Marlins are at home. They stole a game last night, dropping 2 in the last inning. So I think that they can keep it close for 5. So
there we go. Let's see it. And one more thing I did want to add about Taillon. On the road this year, he does have a 6 ERA, a 5.96. So basically all the way up at a 6. And he is 2-2 on the road. That means he's won 2 games while pitching to a 6 ERA on the road. So let's see that trend continue. Let's see a ton of runs in this game, and let's cash it early. And Joe, let's see it stay close so you can get your win as well. All right, boys, we have one more MLB game we're going to be breaking down today. You guys ready to dive into our last MLB game of the day?
Let's do it.
And unfortunately, we're going to be talking about the fighting New York Juan Sotos taking on the Boston Red Sox. The New York Mets are 29-19 on the year. However, they're 12-14 on the road. Now, that tells you that they've been bad on the road, but it also tells you how dominant they've been at home. On the other side, we have the Boston Red Sox, 24-25 on the year. They are 13-11 at home. Let's go to the pitching matchup. Clay Holmes, 5-2 on the year with a 3.14 ERA. On the other side for the Red Sox, we have Walker Buehler, who, if you look at his record, looks like he's had a pretty good year. He's 4-1, but he does have a 4.3 ERA, so they've won with him on the bump. However, he's not exactly pitched fantastically. Joe, we haven't started with you yet. What do you like in this game?
So for me, I think I'm going to take the under 4.5 for the first 5. I do think that Buehler gives up a home run. This could get a little sweaty, but I think that 4.5 is just a little bit too much. If you looked at the earned run lines for both pitchers, they're both at 2.5. One is at -150, the other is at -166. That is way too much juice. So I think the under 4.5 for the first 5 is the route that I'm going to take.
I like it. I like it. JD, what you got?
Yeah, I really don't have much for this game, guys. As far as Buehler goes, I believe the Red Sox have actually won his last 5 starts. But that's because they've scored a bunch of runs. As far as Buehler goes, I mean, if you've watched the show for any amount of time, you know that I've been fading him since actually last year. He used to be so good, man. And then he's just dropped off so hard.
100%.
And now he's actually just a fade fresh to me. As far as the Mets side, I don't really want to back them here at this price. But to me, the Mets currently are actually they're just they're actually just the better team. So I would definitely lean that way. But for me, it's going to be it's actually going to be the little thing. The best play is actually no play.
Sometimes the best play is no play. And JD, I respect your decision for that. However, as you already know, I love this Mets team. Well, I love this specific Mets team. I hate the Mets. I'm a lifelong Mets hater. But I do like the team they put together for this year. Clay Holmes, I've been proven wrong about Clay Holmes. And it pains me to say that. Former Yankees closer, yada, yada, goes over to the Mets. Everyone's saying, what are you doing? Taking Clay Holmes, a guy who was a failed closer last year, making him a starter. What is that going to do? You think he's going to be able to do that for you guys? Well, let me put it to you this way, guys. Clay Holmes has started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games this year. He started 9 games this year. The team is 7-2 when he starts. So there's no denying that it's been working. He's been even better on the road this year. He's 3-1 on the road with a 2.49 ERA. He's 23 strikeouts on the road as well, so he's an uptick there. I do think the Mets are going to have a big bounce back spot. The Mets have had a very rough Subway Series against the Yankees this weekend. They had a rough opening game against this Red Sox team yesterday. They will turn it around. I know Lindor hasn't been hitting. He's won for his last 22. Pete Alonso has come back to earth. He's now down to a 300 average. But this team is very talented top to bottom. They are better than this Red Sox team top to bottom as well, almost at every position. And in the pitching matchup, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Clay Holmes is a stronger starter than Walker Buehler in the year 2025. Never thought I would say that, but that's absolutely where we are in this game. So I'm going to be taking the Mets in the spot at a -130. If the Mets were playing a little better baseball over the last couple games, this line would be a lot higher, especially against Walker Buehler, who pitches to contact. Now, I know he only has 29 strikeouts on the year, but when you look at Buehler, he has more hits allowed on the year than strikeouts. He also does have 9 walks, and when he does get hit, the ball has been leaving the park. Putting it in perspective, Clay Holmes has pitched 48 innings this year. Walker Buehler has pitched 33 innings this year. However, in 15 less innings for Buehler, he's given up almost double the homers that Clay Holmes has given up. This Mets team has some power. I think they're going to be able to take the ball out of the park. It should be good weather tonight for the ball to carry, and I fully expect this to be a big Mets performance. Give me the Mets on the money line. It's currently at a -130. It's definitely going to be a best bet from me. You guys think the Mets have a good shot here, Joe? You think they're going to get it?
Yeah.
Clay Holmes, man.
What the Mets side, I wasn't worried about at all. I knew Buehler was going to give up a home run, but I'm thinking 3-1 Mets in the fifth because for whatever reason, just against the Boston, they just haven't been scoring. So I don't know.
JD, you think they're going to pull it out the Mets tonight?
Either would definitely be how I would lean.
All right. Well, there we go. We'll be very happy on this show tomorrow if the Mets are able to pull this off. Well, fellas, that's going to do it for the MLB portion of the show. But are you ready to dive into a little NBA action? We are finally back with some NBA. And we wanted to leave enough time where we could talk about a couple props, talk about the game. And, I wasn't here last week when one team, I don't forget their names. I think they're from New York. JD, can you remind me, what team is this in New York? I believe it might have been Friday night against Joe's Boston Celtics. Was it the New York Knicks? Is
I
that
actually think it might have been the Knicks. Yeah.
I think it was the New York Knicks that got it done and have advanced. So I haven't been here. So I have to get a couple things out. I know Hefe, I believe he is back tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, JD. I know he's going to have a lot to say as well. But the Knicks showed up. They came out and they played hard, and they put a beat down on the Boston Celtics. So I think for everyone who is not a Celtics fan, they're excited for this round of the postseason. We have 2 good matchups, and for once, it seems like it's open. It seems like nobody really has an idea who's going to win the NBA championship this year, and I think it's going to be a really good conference finals round. So, boys, we're going to dive right in to tonight's game, which is going to be the Timberwolves taking on the Thunder. Game 1 of the Timberwolves and the Thunder, baby. Guys, we all know the storylines coming into this game. OKC was the best team in the Western Conference all year long. 68-14 on the year, 35-6 at home. This team has been absolutely dominant until they've hit the playoffs. I know they've made it this far, but has anyone been convinced watching this OKC Thunder team that they're the same team from the regular season? I know that I haven't been. They've played a lot differently, and they have looked a lot different than how they did in the regular season. Joe, we're going to start with you. T-Wolves, OKC, Game 1, ESPN, 8:30 Eastern time tonight. What do you like? Do you have any props? Do you have any sides, a total? What do you got?
I'm all over the total. It was at 209 when it opened, I think, and I slammed it. But it's up to 216, and I still like it. I like it, honestly, up to 221, 222. I just don't – I see both of these teams able to score on each other. I know that OKC scores based off transition defense a lot. They pretty much took the life away from Denver. So they force turnovers, and then they run, and that's what they do. That's their thing. Julius Randle, former New York Knick, has been playing absolute bully ball, and I love it.
Man, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating as a Knicks fan who watched Julius Randle disappear every postseason. We all know the
Yeah.
storylines when it was the F. Trey Young era. Remember when that was a thing? When
Yeah.
it was the Knicks versus the Hawks and that whole rivalry? Well, in those postseasons, Randall disappeared. He didn't play well at all. Now, look how good he's done on the other side of the country.
Randall and Ant-Man actually got into it a while ago because Ant-Man said, "Did you hoop like you got jeans on?" And it was hilarious. But ever since that comment and they squashed in the locker room, ever since Julius Randle's been playing bully ball and it looks a lot better.
A lot better.
A lot better. Both of these teams. So OKC had the advantage over Denver because when they put the bench in, it was like, hey, this is a breath of fresh air. Alex Caruso is a dog. You need to start putting respect on his name.
Elmer Fudd's nasty, bro. Elmer Fudd puts it in.
Dude, he is he guarded Jokic, and he's like 100 pounds less.
Yeah.
And half his height.
Jokic the most problems. Like,
Yep.
who would have thought? Like, it wasn't Lou Dort, it wasn't Jalen Williams, it was Alex Little Caruso off the bench getting up in Jokic's space. It was a Chihuahua versus Pit Bull in real life.
Yep.
But again, like I think OKC's advantage on most of the teams they played has always been their depth. They're not going to have that advantage because Minnesota is deep as well. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, his little cousin, not little brother, I stand corrected. His little cousin plays for Minnesota. So those two grew up together. They were like brothers. They played together. So if there's anybody that knows a flaw in his game that they could use, I think it's the Timberwolves. If you look at the regular season's head-to-head, the Thunder didn't really play their game. SGA pretty much took over, and I think that was intentional from a Timberwolves perspective because if you wanted them to see you in the playoffs, you don't want to give them film on what defense you're going to roll out to stop them or slow them down.
100%.
Like, he crossed over the 31.5 point prop 3 out of the 4 games they played. That's not going to happen in the playoffs. So I don't want to take everything, but I'm over. I have a ladder going, day 2 of the ladder, over 104.5 for the T-Wolves team total. But I also like the full game, whatever it is, up to 222. So
I love it. And any official props? I know you're a big prop guy, Joe, and I'm going through all the prop lines here. I want to kind of go over with you a couple of them. They kind of stand out with me and see your opinion on them. So Dante DiVincenzo, over 9.5 points, I think may be a good play here. That's one that sticks out to me right off the bat. And then 2 of the big ones. Julius Randle over 20.5. You alluded to it earlier. He's been fantastic in these playoffs. And he's going to need to do some bully ball. He should have Chet guarding him. And when you take a look at that matchup, he needs to put his shoulder down, run through him, and he should be able to get to the line and get his. Do you like the Randle at 20.5?
I do. I love that, actually. Like this, the playoffs are all about matchup. Chet doesn't weigh enough. He needs to get in the weight room. And you're about to see what bully ball looks like to a guy that's thin, tall glass. I actually see them trying to attempt to put Hartenstein on him, or the Jalen Williams coming off of the bench. That Jalen Williams, I see them trying to put him on Randall to slow him down instead of Chet.
Interesting. JD, what do you think about this game, and what do you think about a couple props here?
Start off with props for this game. I have absolutely nothing. That is all Joe. Joe actually is our prop guy. For this one, just as far as the game as a whole, as far as rest, as far as what the NBA did here, as far as the Thunder having the short rest coming off of the game, coming off of their game 7 here, I feel like if the Wolves are going to steal a game, it is going to be this game. But also with saying that, it would not surprise me, basically in game 1 here, it would not surprise me to see the Timberwolves outright win. It would also not surprise me to see the Thunder, I don't know, lack of better words, Thunder fuck.
I like that.
Them. And it's a complete blowout. Like I could see either way here. But actually, like part of my Jay said, I definitely have to lean the Wolves here. But like I said, I'm actually staying off the side. If you watched yesterday's show, you actually know my play. We didn't really mean to get into the game. But actually, like but as actually like as far as actually like total when actually we were breaking the game down was 215. And I told everybody to go ahead and jump on it. That actually that was going to be a 5 unit play. Um, so I hope that all y'all did because that number has been moving up. Looks like we're at 217, and yeah, you can actually
218
still
now.
find a 218 now.
FanDuel has a 218 minus 110 on both sides.
Well, yeah. So yeah, if you jumped on it, um, yeah, I like said like the one you probably thought I said.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, guys, over here. As far as the Wolves, man, as far as this whole playoffs, my like numbers have said to bet the over. Actually, pretty much every single one of their games. So I've either played the full game over, or either actually played like a team, or either actually like a team like total, and actually some like way. I'm just haven't blindly bet it like actually like over actually every game. But this is one where I have the total at basically at 223. So I have a nice edge there. So
you'd still recommend taking it? You still have a 5-point gap.
Yeah. As far as that 218, I would still bet it, but actually not as a 5 unit play. Like I would go ahead and lower that down, but
100%. We have a question here from Pardon My J. How will Ant try and exploit the Thunder? Attack the rim, and attack the rim. That is going to open up the 3-point shot for him. I think he's going to have to drive early, and that will open up his 3 for the majority of the series. Joe, thoughts?
If we're talking about Ant-Man, the Thunder do very well against guarding him. He is under that 27.5-point prop. I think 9 of his last 10.
It's low. They lowered it. It's now at 25.5 for his point prop tonight. They dropped it down 2.
That's why. Like people have been hammering that under, and rightfully so. The Thunder have figured out if you want to beat Minnesota, stopping that man is your best chance. Usually you say, hey, we'll stop the star, we'll let the star get his, or we'll stop everybody else. That's not been OKC's approach to this game. They slow down Ant-Man, and the rest of the guys will fall off. I'm looking for Jaden McDaniels to have a huge game. He can score. He's able to score. He does not get tired. He plays a ton of minutes. And I think he'll have the matchup advantage as well. When you look at him, he's like 6'9", 6'10". He's very underrated for his height.
He's phenomenal. He's your stereotypical fantastic 3-and-D wing player. He is an unbelievable 3-and-D defensive player.
And he hasn't been utilized like that. Like, that's my thing. Like, he can shoot threes very, very efficiently. That's not his main game. I think matchup-wise, he's the piece that doesn't fit, and the piece that's going to give OKC the most trouble, in my opinion.
What do you think about this question here? What do you think about McDaniel's points prop?
I really want to slow down on game 1 so I can see everybody's strategy, but I love his PRAs as a whole, not just his points.
Let's see what that's at right now.
He's a very underrated rebounder as well. So, I mean, he is PRA going to have a matchup advantage. So
I like his PRA a lot more than his points prop. So his points prop, I believe, is at 13.5, but his PRA is at 20.5. So you get for only 7 additional stat points there. I think there's way more value on the PRA.
Right. That's where I'm
Any other props you like on this game, Joe, before I go into my plays on this one?
I like Naz Reid over 16.5 PRAs just because he'll be coming off the bench, and he is like a 7-footer. He does stretch the 4, so he can get hot from 3. The Thunder do allow people to shoot threes versus, drive to the paint. So I like Naz Reid over 16.5 PRAs. I do have it in a little negative correlation parlay. So there's that.
There we go. A little negative correlation parlay. I like that right there. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to get into my bet. It's the best bet. I absolutely love this play. It's going to be Minnesota Timberwolves with the points plus 7.5 at minus 110. Not sure who wins this game, but I do think it's going to stay close. It is game 1. They're going to be feeling each other out. They're going to be playing very tough defensive basketball. And like I said, it's going to be a feel-out game for game 1 of this big, important series. Guys, OKC has not impressed me so far this postseason. I know they had a big Game 7 win over Denver. That should never have gotten to 7. They were so much better as a team overall than this Denver Nuggets team has been. Denver shouldn't have made it that far, and they stretched it all the way to 7. I think the T-Wolves pose a lot more threats offensively than what that Denver Nuggets team was able to pose against them, and I think we're going to see an absolutely big performance tonight on the road from these T-Wolves. Joe, you did put it perfectly. I am hesitant about Anthony Edwards. I'm not really looking at any props for him because they've done a great job against him this year. They've figured out how to defend him, so we want to see if they're able to fix that. We want to see if the T-Wolves can come in here and scheme a way to get more looks for Ant-Man. So I did see a couple of comments in here. Christian is saying Ant-Man under first quarter points. I don't mind that. I do think he will have a slow start. And my big prop I like on this game as well is going to be Julius Randle over those 20.5 points as well. We talked about that earlier. I think he's going to be able to make his way into the paint, draw fouls, get to the free throw line, and I think he will be able to score. And JD, to your points earlier, I absolutely love the over in this game. You and I both took a ton of overs in that Denver series with them too, and I know we cashed a bunch of those as well. So the over will only help our props, and let's see them keep it close with the T-Wolves. Either of you guys have any other plays on this game before we get into best bets?
I do not.
All right. Well, we have just about 1,000 people here. We appreciate every single one of you for tuning in with us today. Let's get right into our best bets for today, Tuesday, May 20th. Joe, we're going to start with you. What do you got for the people?
I think I'm going to go with the over in that I think it was at 216 this morning or whatever the over is. If it's at 218, I still like it. I like it up to 222. So I think that's going to be my best bet.
There we go. All right, JD, what do you got?
Let's go to a little baseball today, guys. Let's go with the Reds. Let's go ahead and take them on the money line. And then let's go back to that Cubs and the Marlins game. Let's take the over there. Over 8.5.
There we go. I love it. Well, guys, I'll go into my best bets next. T-Wolves plus 7.5. I went over all the reasons why. And over to the MLB Diamond. We're going to be taking the Mets to have a big bounce back performance. I think they get it done rather easily in today's game. All right, guys, get your phones out. Take your screenshots. You can see the best bets are on the screen here. Yet again, I am on the T-Wolves plus the 7.5 and the Mets money line. JD, my guy, is on the Reds and the Cubs Marlins over 8.5. And my other guy, Joe from Lay Off the Juice, is on the T-Wolves Thunder over 216. I'll leave this up for another couple seconds, but fellas, it's been a fantastic show. It is good to be back with you guys. We'll be back, of course, at our normal programming tomorrow at 12. I do believe we have Hefe. It's either tomorrow or Thursday, but I do believe tomorrow is Knicks game 1, so I don't think Hefe would miss that show. I know he's flying back tonight, so he should be ready for that. JD, any parting words for the people before we get the hell out of here today?
Yeah, a few things. As far as YouTube, hit that like button for us, guys. Smash that like button. Second, Alpha, glad to have you back, man. It was a fun show, and yes, definitely glad to have you back. I should be back home tomorrow. Well, yes, I am definitely going to be back home tomorrow, but I should be back home right before the show starts. So I'll see.
What if we have a mobile version of it? Are you going to do the Hefe style of the mobile game?
You actually might.
That would be wild. That would be an interesting one. Well, hell yeah. I hope you do make it home, but if you don't, that adds another fun to the show as well. Yeah. So maybe we hope you will be in the car. More to come from that.
And then with that, gotta say cheers and let's fucking win.
Let's fucking win, JD. I know you've been grilling up a storm, sending me pictures of all the food you've been eating. You keep enjoying. Enjoy your trip. Joe, any parting words for the people?
Man, keep it positive. Join the Discord. Everybody in there is on fire. Let's fucking win, baby.
Let's fucking win, baby. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Everyone have a great day. Peace.